The story of the Black Death is one of the most devastating and transformative events in human history, shaping not only populations but also the course of medical science. Sweeping across Europe, Asia, and North Africa in the 14th century, the pandemic killed millions and left society struggling to understand an invisible and terrifying force. At a time when medical knowledge was limited and often based on superstition, the Black Death exposed the weaknesses of early medicine while also laying the groundwork for future scientific advancements. Exploring the facts behind this deadly outbreak reveals both the horror of the disease and the evolution of medical thinking that followed. Today, we will talk about Black Death and medical science facts. So, before we start, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. The Black Death, which peaked in Europe between 1347 and 1351, is now known to have been caused by the bacterium Yersinia pestis. This pathogen primarily spread through fleas that lived on rats, which were commonly found aboard trading ships. As these ships docked in ports, infected rats would move into cities, bringing the disease with them. However, medieval people had no understanding of bacteria or germs. Instead, many believed the disease was caused by bad air, or miasma, leading them to adopt ineffective methods such as carrying herbs or wearing masks filled with fragrant substances. The symptoms of the Black Death were both rapid and horrifying. Victims often developed painful swellings called buboes, typically in the groin, armpits, or neck. These swellings could turn black, giving the disease its name. And other symptoms included fever, chills, vomiting, and severe weakness. In many cases, death occurred within just a few days. There were also different forms of the disease, including bubonic, pneumonic, and septicemic plague, each with varying symptoms and transmission methods. The pneumonic form, which affected the lungs, was particularly deadly because it could spread directly from person to person through respiratory droplets. One of the most fascinating aspects of the Black Death is how it challenged existing medical beliefs. At the time, European medicine was heavily influenced by ancient Greek theories, particularly the idea of the four humors: blood, phlegm, black bile, and yellow bile. Physicians believed that illness was caused by an imbalance in these humors, and treatments often involved bloodletting or purging. That these methods not only failed to cure the plague but often weakened patients further, demonstrating the limitations of pre-modern medical science. Despite the lack of effective treatments, the Black Death did lead to some early forms of public health measures. Quarantine, for example, became a widely used strategy. The term itself comes from the Italian word quaranta, meaning 40, as ships were required to wait 40 days before passengers could disembark. This practice, though not fully understood at the time, helped reduce the spread of the disease and remains a key concept in modern epidemiology. Additionally, cities began to implement sanitation measures, such as removing waste and regulating burials, which indirectly contributed to better health outcomes. While another important medical development during this period was the increased emphasis on observation and documentation. Physicians and scholars began recording symptoms and patterns of disease more systematically. While their explanations were often incorrect, their detailed observations provided valuable data for future generations. Over time, this shift toward empirical evidence helped pave the way for the scientific method, which is central to modern medicine. The role of religion and superstition in response to the Black Death cannot be overlooked. Many people believed the plague was a punishment from God, leading to widespread fear and acts of penance. Some groups, known as flagellants, traveled from town to town, whipping themselves in an attempt to atone for sins. Others turned to scapegoating, blaming certain communities for the outbreak. These responses highlight how, in the absence of scientific understanding, societies often turn to belief systems to make sense of disaster. Interestingly, the Black Death also had long-term effects on the structure of healthcare systems. With such a massive loss of life, there was a greater demand for medical practitioners, which eventually led to improvements in medical education and training. Universities began to place more emphasis on anatomy and the study of disease, slowly moving away from purely theoretical approaches. This shift marked an important step toward evidence-based medicine. Modern science has provided deeper insights into the Black Death through techniques such as DNA analysis. Researchers have been able to extract genetic material from the remains of plague victims, as confirming the presence of Yersinia pestis. These studies have also revealed how the bacterium evolved over time, helping scientists understand how pandemics emerge and spread. Such knowledge is crucial in preparing for future outbreaks and developing effective treatments and vaccines. The Black Death also influenced how societies approach disease prevention today. Concepts such as isolation, contact tracing, and hygiene all have roots in responses to past pandemics. While medieval methods were often crude, they represented early attempts to control the spread of infection. Today, these strategies are supported by advanced technology and scientific knowledge, making them far more effective. If you liked this video and would like to see more like it, please give it the thumbs up, leave a comment, and click the button to subscribe.